Just another easy, stress-free night at the ballpark for the Cubs. They cruise once again.
You are Locked On Cubs, your daily Chicago Cubs podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
You are Locked On Cubs, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Alongside Sam Olber, I'm Matt Cozy. Sam and I are lifelong fans, taking our passion into discussion with you on all things Cubs. Thank you for being part of the show and making Locked On Cubs your first listen today. The best way you can help us grow the show is to listen every day. Like the video and comment anything below. Cody Bellinger's 3-run homer in the 7th pushed the Cubs to a 4-2 win over the Rays on Wednesday night. Earlier in the game, Seiya Suzuki connected for a solo home run, and we'll go to why that's important in more ways than one in a minute. Javier Assad went only 4 2/3, but Tyson Miller and Drew Smiley cleaned up out of the bullpen.
Tyson who? Mike Tyson?
Tyson Miller and Drew Smiley cleaned up out of the bullpen. Hector Neris survived, and I'll leave it at that. Sam, perhaps a ray of hope from the Northsiders.
Well, Matt, I'd like to give myself credit for this win.
Yes, you should.
I did a couple of things that I thought would spark this team. Number one, I did a giveaway, an infamous giveaway. It seems as though I think this worked. I believe I've done 5 tweets on giveaways, and I think I'm now 3 out of 5 in them actually happening. And that's what I want. I do it for a reason. I said before the game, if Seiya Suzuki hits hits a home run and the Cubs win the game, one person, we're going to repeat that, one person that retweets this will get 2 tickets, bleacher tickets to a Cub game of their choice. That's exactly what happened. I'm going to announce that shortly here. I want to just give it a little bit for everyone to come in first.
Well, I mean, not everybody's here right now, but
you know what I mean.
Okay.
And then in the middle of the game, after Cody Bellinger struck out, I went on a little rant about how his power has been missing. And usually whenever I say something like that mid-game, the next AB, the exact opposite happens. And Cody Bellinger hit a 3-run home run, and the Cubs won the game 4-3. It was a 1-run game. We improved the 1-run record.
Oh, well, yeah, because my outline was already made.
Yeah. And
they ruined all my outlines.
Yeah.
Throwing that. This is ridiculous, man.
And I'll just
Someone
say this.
accused me after the game, oh, you waited 10 seconds to tweet out a negative tweet. They almost lost again, bro.
And I'll just say this before I
almost had to change the whole outline again. It's not about me, by the way.
If I need to do a giveaway for every game for this team to turn it around, by God, I will. If I gotta lose every dime that I have, if I gotta lose every penny, if that's what these guys need, if tomorrow I got to do a Swanson giveaway for him to hit a ball to right center field, I'll give out another 2 tickets. Whatever this team needs, I will do anything. On Saturday, I'm taking 14 of my closest friends to the game for Nick's bachelor party. I don't know what to do. But whatever this team needs, if they need me to drive over there and say that they all stink, that's what I'll do. Okay. The winner of the 2
winner
bleacher tickets. Forgive me if I mispronounce. Zachary, I'm going to go with Holtzgraf.
Oh, what a well-deserved win, I might say.
Yeah, and when all I did is after Suzuki hit the homer, I literally just went,
go Cubs,
scrolled at my retweets and picked him. When I picked him and saw it was him, I was happy because I've actually tweeted with him before.
Yeah, that makes me feel good, Sam.
So I'm happy.
Congrats to Zach.
I'm happy that he won, and let me just say this: I may do another one tomorrow.
I say you do it.
I mean, what's it matter? What does money matter when this thing stinks?
What's the harm, by the way? It's baseball. It's a baseball show.
I may do the same. I may do it with Swanson. If that's what he needs to get going, I'll do it.
Why aren't they playing at like noon central, one out there?
Because everywhere we play, they don't believe in getaway days. The Cardinals have an afternoon game. They'll be comfortably in Chicago by the time the Rays and Cubs have the second inning.
They'll be at the new Culvers.
I'll be in Wrigleyville Friday.
So, yes, we will be in Wrigleyville most of the weekend. Well, Sam will be. I'll be there Saturday.
No, you're not even going to show.
I'm going to be there.
Let's recap the game. Big homers from Suzuki.
Sure.
Not a sharp outing from Assad. Really good stuff from Tyson Miller, who hasn't pitched since Memorial Day 1977. And then a really good effort from Drew Smiley. And then Hector Neris almost gave it all away.
Thank you so much for checking out this edition of Locked On Cubs. You give us 20 to 3.
Oh, man. We needed this win, man.
Well, no, but it's true. Bellinger had the first big hit for the Cubs in a long time. Miller and Smiley had the first true step-up performances out of the pen in a long time as well. Smiley and Miller combined for 3 1/3 scoreless, no hits, no walks, 5 strikeouts between those two gentlemen. Miller made his first appearance since June 4th. And Smiley, Sam, did he make his first appearance since June 5th, a week ago today, or did he pitch in the Red Series?
That's your job.
And Javier Assad went 2 runs, 5 hits, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts in 4 2/3. Should Miller and Smiley have an increased role moving forward? And I think this has to be Neris's last day in the 9th, right?
Well, I don't know about Smiley, but Miller, I don't understand what he's done to not warrant more of a high leverage opportunity. I believe now that's, I think, 10 1/3 innings with the Cubs, maybe even 11 1/3. I can't remember which. With 1 earned run, he's made 1 bad pitch, and that was to Gary Sanchez in Milwaukee in that game a couple of weeks ago. He's been stellar. The one thing that he does that is just almost, you almost think it's impossible with this group, is he throws strikes. He comes in and he doesn't walk people. And when you don't walk people and you keep the ball in the ballpark, it's usually a pretty good recipe for success. I'd like to see an increased role for Miller and a decreased role for those of like Neris and Wesneski, even though he pitched well yesterday. But look, we know there's no one thing that I want to do a better job of as a show is I want to stop pounding the table for things that aren't going to happen. Like Hector Neris is going to continue getting the 9th. So there's no reason to even say it. We just have to hope that he pitches better.
Because the Cubs need him in the 9th right now?
I don't know what the reason is. I just know that there's no way Craig Counsell's going to go to his 3rd closer because he blew 1 save yesterday and had a bad outing. We have Alzolay bobblehead day coming up. He's not.
Yeah, even Boog and JD were surprised to see that flash up on the screen.
So you lost him, to injury and poor performance. And now you have Neris struggling, but, do you really think, is it egregious enough for Counsell to say no to Neris, yes, Wesneski, no to Neris, yes to Miller? Do you and I think so? Of course. But you and I don't get paid $8 million a year. It's quite a bit less than that.
It's a good way to frame the question.
And to be honest, the one guy I still would love to see there if he were to lose his starting spot would be Ben Brown, but he's now out. So
right. I've been saying that since April.
But if it is 3 runs or less tomorrow in the 9th, you won't see Neris because he there's no way he'll be available for the 3rd straight night.
Yeah, typically. I know he pitched 3 days in a row once earlier this year, but that's pretty rare.
Well, and he threw on Sunday before the off.
So he's already pitched 3 out of 4 days.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah, he'll be in his gym shoes then. The Cubs had 2 hits each from Bush, Bellinger, and Suzuki, Sam.
Yep.
I think we're getting encouraging signs on Bush.
Lately,
in my mind.
Jinx.
Horner returned to the starting lineup on Wednesday. Had an early bases loaded opportunity. But it's nice to see that from Bush. Bellinger with good swings this series so far.
The Bellinger swing was everything.
Yeah, it was huge. And the dugout, at least according to the pictures we saw, was pretty businesslike. I think that's a mild way to put it. The Cubs also stole 6 bases in this game. Hey, put them in motion. Look what happens. Caused a little bit of chaos.
Yeah, and ironically, none of them really came around.
Didn't really come around to score.
Yeah, it was all, well, they did on the home run.
Right.
But yeah, it was good. The base running was good. Still haven't hit the 5-run mark yet on this trip. Maybe that'll be the finale. But yeah, Suzuki swung the bat really well on Tuesday night. Had a ridiculous, that 0 for 5 that he had Tuesday night. I want to say this with him because I said it last year, so I'd like to be fair. I'd really like to see Counsell come out and start defending him with these calls. They even flashed it up. He has the second worst calls. I think it's in something the way when he takes, because I think he just does something like when he takes it, he looks so unsure that I think it kind of gives the ump that little human element to maybe punch a strike. If you just watch his takes, there's always like a flinch. It's not comfortable, but that's not his fault. He's taking the pitches by rule. They have to be better. He got rung up on a pitch yesterday that would have been a ball if a guy was hitting righty, lefty, and each guy was Bill Russell's height. Okay?
Yeah, that was really bad. It was 5 inches outside.
Yeah, and then today as well, and then he got robbed. So it's nice to see him get the result today with the home run. But really, it was Bellinger. Bellinger left on left, second and third, 2 out. I believe it was a 1-2 pitch. Got it in his happy zone and golfed it in the right field bleachers, and it was really, you can make the case, especially if the Cubs could find a way to build off this, that it was one of the bigger hits of the season because, man, did things feel low before that hit. And, I hope so. I agree. One thing, I agree with what you're saying about Bush. I'd like to see a little bit more oomph, though. Like today, nice ground ball through the right side, a little blooper. I get it. I'd love to see him, hit a ball about 105 the opposite way into the stands at Wrigley this weekend, something like that. Then I'll really start to believe he's coming back around.
Justin Steele versus Taj Bradley on Thursday. Cubs can win the series in Tampa as they finish the road trip.
They should.
And then return to Wrigley Field this weekend. So here's what I think should be the tweet, Sam, for the giveaway on Thursday.
Oh.
It should be 5+ runs in a win.
Great idea.
Yeah.
Is it your money that we're giving away, or?
I don't. Well, I am getting a new computer tomorrow. So.
And the Cubs, I just looked at the FanDuel. Cubs are only minus 115 tomorrow. I thought with the way Bradley and Steele, I thought we might be like minus 140 in this contest. I just don't think Vegas thinks this team's very good.
No, they haven't since March.
Yeah, I think I'm going to either do the 5-run thing. I may do a Swanson homer because that's the real test. If he hits a homer and the Cubs win, you really know I have a little juju with the the jinxing.
Absolutely. So that's the end of the show, right?
No.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, coming up next, we are going.
What? What's so funny?
Well, I just
Juju?
That end of the game really bothered me.
Oh, well, you're laughing. I don't know.
I want them to win a clean baseball game, and that was clean. It was back and forth. Bellinger big hit. Miller and Smiley. There's just it's too much with Neris. It's too much, and I know that's on me for standing up that inning and pacing back and forth. And
were you doing those things?
Whatever else, but I've tried to make some adjustments since Easter weekend.
Does it look like I have any color? I feel like I do.
Slight.
Thank you.
Slight color, yeah.
It's pretty hot out there today.
Well, coming up next, we are going to give the slash lines, the so-called core 6 of the Cubs since April 27th. The Cubs have the second worst offense in baseball to the Chicago White Sox since April 27th. And we're just going to go over how really everybody is struggling. Stay tuned.
This episode is brought to you by PrizePicks. PrizePicks is America's #1 fantasy sports app. It's the easiest and most exciting way to get in on the action while you watch your favorite sports and players. Pick more or less on 2 or more player stats and then watch the winnings roll in. Baseball season is officially underway. Don't miss your chance to add your favorite players from the diamond in your PrizePicks entries. Whether it's strikeouts, RBIs, or first inning runs, take your pick or more or less and then add them to your PrizePicks entry. Tomorrow, I would ride the Cody Bellinger wave. He's streaky. Give me more hits. Give me more RBIs for Cody. PrizePicks is really simple to play with your entries, taking less than 60 seconds to submit, turning $10 into $1,000 with just a few taps of your screen. Download the PrizePicks app today and use code LOCKEDONMLB for a first deposit match up to $100. That's a first deposit match up to $100 by using code LOCKEDONMLB. Pick more, Matt. Pick less. It's that easy with PrizePicks, America's #1 fantasy sports app.
This episode is also brought to you by Policy Genius, the country's leading online insurance marketplace. It saves you time and money so you can provide your family with a financial safety net starting today. With Policy Genius, you can find life insurance policies that start at just $292 per year for an incredible $1 million worth of coverage. Some options offer same-day approval and avoid unnecessary medical exams. Policy Genius helps you compare your options from top companies, and their team of licensed experts is on hand to help you talk through it. They have a team of award-winning agents who will walk you through the process step by step. Easily compare quotes from America's top insurers in just a few clicks to find your lowest price. Check life insurance off your to-do list in no time with Policy Genius. Head to policygenius.com/LockedOnMLB or click the link in the description to get your free life insurance quotes and see how much you could save. That's policygenius.com/LockedOnMLB. The Cubs play the Rays inexplicably at 5:50 p.m. Central Thursday. And you can hear every pitch of the Cubs hometown broadcast on SiriusXM by searching Cubs on the SXM app. Since April 27th, in which the Cubs are now 16-26, since then, they are third to last in runs, last in average, eighth to last in on-base percentage, and third to last in slugging percentage. Whoa. During this time period, they're averaging 3.6 runs per game, while the starting pitchers, meanwhile, have allowed 2.6 runs per game during this same span. Pretty incredible. And there's no other way to slice it. Everybody is struggling. The main group of six, Happ, Suzuki, Bellinger, Morel, Swanson, and Horner, all with noticeable trends here. Even Bellinger, Sam, who has a high average,
Bellinger
has a low OBP and a lower slug.
Yeah, but here, let's look at these. So Happ, 206, 306, 382, unacceptable. Suzuki, 240, 298 on the on-base, 414, not acceptable. He's picked it up lately. Bellinger, 289, 324, 445. That's fine. It's not great. It's fine. Morel, 203, 331, 428, not great. 210, 285, 352 for Dansby, not good. And that's the big one. Nico, 217, 318, 222.
Wow.
Did I read that right?
It's striking. Might have been 322. Let's see.
Oh, was it 322? Yeah, you're right. I probably read it wrong. Still not good. Yeah, 322. Yeah. 217, 318, 322. That's the worst one.
That's horrible.
So I will say, here's the thing. So first of all, I don't like calling them the core six. I know we have to.
Well, it's the main group of six.
I know it is.
Two-thirds of the lineup.
No, I know what it is. This what do you call this? The flashing thing under the screen, the ticker, the scroll, the ticker, whatever it is. This just illustrates what a star could provide, because these things don't sting. If one of these gentlemen, let's say Seiya during this stretch was hitting 336, 409, 611. He's going to pick up the slack for everybody, and it's not going to stick out. But when you don't have a guy like that, when you don't have a star, when you don't have an MVP candidate, when you don't have a position player all-star, you can't have pretty much, I would say, strongly 5 out of the 6 guys struggling at once. If you have a star, and you have a guy that could just say, all right, well, let's go. You guys take your time. I'll take care of it for about 4 to 6 weeks. Then you'll take care of it when I start to struggle. They don't have a guy like that. And last year when the season changed, they got a guy basically in a half like that. Bellinger for July and August, and Seiya for August and a half in September. And it's no coincidence that that's when they found a lot of offensive success. So for this team to really turn it around, I'm not sure it's realistic for everybody to turn it around at once, but they're going to need somebody. They're going to need somebody. Odds are it's either the two guys that homered today or the one that homered yesterday, Morel, Suzuki, or Bellinger. They're going to need one of those three guys to just say, hey, the month of July, whatever, I'm going to be in the player of the month conversation. I'm going to be one of the best hitters in baseball. They're not good enough to do it for 6 months, but they're going to need somebody to do it for a month or two, and it'll make everything else easier. And maybe, just maybe, Wednesday night was a step towards that. We'll see.
Well, it's a great point. And even given all of this, I do want to point out, the other dudes, Bush, Tauchman, Wisdom, Amaya, Gomes, PCA, and now Bodie. I'm going to be keeping tabs on them as well. In spots where you can be of value, let's showcase that. We have seen that at times from more of, Bush and Tauchman, certainly Wisdom, PCA, cameo here and there, obviously not with the catchers. But yeah, I love what you're putting down, Sam. It looks like Bellinger might be on the precipice of something like that. Suzuki has it in him, but can he get out of his head? And I'd like to see the middle tandem, Swanson and Horner, really sharpen their games offensively and defensively moving forward. You've talked multiple times already this week about the upcoming 9-game trip. Well, let's close out strong in Tampa at inexplicably 5:50 Central on Thursday. Okay, do your thing behind Steele, your so-called ace pitcher. Okay, make it not matter who even pitches the 9th inning, and come back to Wrigley at 1:20 in the morning, and then get up and 12 hours later win a baseball game.
Hey,
okay?
100%. And I just want to make this quick point before we head to break. I'd like to see Counsell be a little bit more strategic with how he uses the catchers. For example, odds are tomorrow night Gomes is going to start because Amaya got the first two, which means Gomes won't be able to start in the afternoon on Friday. And Yan Gomes has like ridiculously good numbers against Kyle Gibson. I don't think the gap between Amaya and Gomes is big enough to where you need to ignore those things. If you feel like one of them has like a slight edge, use that edge, because Gomes swung the bat well last weekend in Cincinnati a little bit. And then he came off the bench today, pinch hit at a ball 404 feet to left center field. Yan Gomes does have a track record of being an okay hitter. So maybe, and I just feel like Craig Counsell, and don't get me wrong, Jan's been awful. But I just don't think Counsell's really given him the same leeway he's given everybody else to get out of this funk.
Yeah.
And Miguel Amaya sure as heck hasn't run away with the position. So
coming up next, an interesting, if that's what you want to call it, minor league signing. Stay tuned. Today's episode is brought to you by our brand new partners at Tax Network USA. Here on Locked On Cubs, we pride ourselves on getting you the latest news for your team, whether it's the offseason, the draft, spring training, or the playoffs. It's year-round. You know what else is year-round? Collection season. Just because tax season is over doesn't mean the IRS will stop coming after you for unfiled taxes. The IRS can garnish your wages, levy your bank accounts, and even seize your property. Don't let the IRS target you. Let the licensed professionals and tax experts at Tax Network USA go to bat for you. With over 14 years of experience and an A+ rating by the Better Business Bureau, Tax Network USA has saved their clients over $1 billion in tax debt. Whether you owe taxes, have complicated matters that require tax planning, or finally hit that parlay this season and need help correctly filing, call 1-800-549-1000 or visit tnusa.com/lockedon. That's tnusa.com/lockedon. See the link in this episode description below for Tax Network USA. The Cubs on Tuesday signed Jorge Lopez, right-handed reliever, to a minor league deal. Lopez had a messy breakup with the Mets last month as he was DFA'd by the team in Queens following an ejection, a glove toss into the stands, and what ended up actually being a miscommunication with reporters following that same game. Lopez has been an effective reliever in the past, even garnering an all-star appearance in 2022 with the Orioles, and that same season was actually his first in pro ball as a relief pitcher. Cubs have signed a ton of pitchers to minor league deals since even this season started, whether it's out of players that have been DFA'd, other leagues, independent ball. The Cubs signed a lefty that was pitching for the Kane County Cougars 3 weeks ago, and he reported to Double-A Tennessee the other day. Sam, Jorge Lopez is joining the pitcher parade off the streets.
Not much here from me. Not much here from me. It feels like a throw it at the wall. Let's see if it sticks situation.
Right.
Lopez hasn't really had a ton of success, doesn't miss a ton of bats, so he'll fit right in with this bullpen group. It feels like Jed kind of admitted early on that this bullpen wasn't what he thought it'd be. I'm sure he'll tell you, of course, the Merriweather and Almonte injuries plus Alzolay really struggling and then being injured aided that, and it did. But I don't. If it, like the Tyson Miller thing has worked out well so far, that's one where you got to give Jed props. He made a move mid-season, early season, found a guy, scooped him up, and on this team he looks like Trevor Hoffman. But will Jorge Lopez? I don't know. It just feels like let's see if it sticks.
Yeah. I see why the Cubs did it.
Of course, I see. Well, we all see why they did it. I would understand if they gave you a call and said you want to give us an inning in St. Louis on Saturday from the bleachers,
like a Henry Rowengartner.
Yeah,
situation.
like hey, we're gonna bring up host of Locked On Cubs. Happy belated birthday! It's 2-2 in the 8th, and Paul Goldsmith's up, and it's gonna be Matthew F. Cozy. Let's see what you got. And Ricketts would love it because it would bring people to the stands. People would find it interesting.
It would cause some buzz.
It would cause some buzz. You come kind of trotting in there. You have that weird little jog that you do, and
yes.
You'll come in and you'll get the ball over the plate, and somebody will hit it to Morel. It'll be an E5.
Thank you so much for checking out this edition of
Unearned Runs for you.
You give us 20 to 30 minutes. We'll give you all things Cubs with a laugh or two along the way. Be sure to hit subscribe on YouTube, smash the like button for the algorithm, and leave a 5-star review on Apple, Spotify, and everywhere you get your podcasts. And if you want more Matt and Sam, consider supporting us by subscribing to our Unlocked podcast. We're about to record that right after this. The link to subscribe to Unlocked is in this and all episode descriptions. He's Sam Olber. I'm Matt Cozy. This is Locked On Cubs.